All right, what's up guys? Zach here, and I want to share with you the top 5 best ways for D2C e-commerce brands to segment their emails. Let's dive in. So what we're going to talk about today is 5 different segments that you absolutely need to be using, plus a few bonus segments. So who is this for? This is for anyone running a D2C e-commerce brand, most likely on something like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or similar, and anyone using a similar ESP like Klaviyo or MailChimp or SalesLoft, something like that. Anyone who wants to improve their email marketing revenue by sending more targeted messages to their audience instead of blasting everyone with the same exact messaging. Anyone who wants to increase their email revenue, increase their customer lifetime value, and who wants a proven system that follows best practices, and someone that doesn't want to just guess at what's going to drive more revenue. Who am I? I've been helping handfuls of D2C clients at a time get awesome results just like this. You can check out our website for all the full case studies, but we helped this guy add 58 grand in new monthly revenue, helped this brand add 43% in new monthly revenue, helped this brand add 57K in new monthly revenue, helped this brand add 26K in new monthly revenue, and helped this brand add 47K in new monthly revenue. And a big part of helping all these brands is our segmentation strategy. So definitely stick through this one. So geographic location, massive segment that you absolutely should be leveraging if it makes sense. How to create these segments, there's a couple different ways that you can do it within Klaviyo or your other ESP. So first one is going to be within a certain number of miles of a discount. This is kind of how you would set that up. Someone's proximity to a location is within X number of miles of a certain location. You can also look at specific cities, states, regions, or countries. You can also do it by time zone. And then I'm going to go through a few email ideas on how you would actually leverage this. So number one is going to be localized offers and promotions. So if you have a physical store, this is perfect. So it could be in-store events, pop-up stores, in-person product launches, in-store discounts, or a free gift to encourage in-store visits. Great example. If you're running a local meetup, that could be your event or another organization's. So for example, if you're running an apparel brand in Austin, Texas, you could go ahead and send emails to anyone nearby in the Austin or Texas area about the local run club. Same thing with community support drives and seasonal celebrations. These are great examples and reasons to send emails to people in a certain geographical location. Make sure to actually mention the fact that you are emailing them because they're in that particular location. Great strategy. Things with like cultural and regional relevance. So country-specific offers, region-specific tips, and local ingredient highlights. Especially if it's a certain area, like for example, if you're a skincare brand, if you're addressing specific skincare challenges within a certain region, could be humidity, pollution, UV exposure, things like that, include specific product recommendations for that specific region. And same thing with like country specific offers. We actually ran into this recently with one of our clients. Mother's Day is celebrated at different dates in different countries, so we were able to target that messaging accordingly. And then finally here, just having some seasonal timing, welcome to the season, stay on trend for this season. You can have an announcement, you could have a seasonal skincare quiz. Could be countdown to this certain season coming up. And think about seasons not just as spring, summer, winter, fall. Think outside the box. Think about sending emails to people. It could be wedding season, allergy or flu season, festival season, holiday shopping season, Super Bowl season, college football season. All of these different seasons are great reasons to send email campaigns. Next up, purchase history. So this is very simple to set up. You're going to look at 0-time purchasers, 1-time purchasers, 2-time, 3-time, 4-time VIPs, etc. And this is essentially how you'd set it up. You'd look at placed orders 0 times over all time. That would be a 0-time purchaser. And you want to make sure that you're sending people who can receive email marketing because they've subscribed. You don't want to be sending people who haven't necessarily opted in fully. 1-time purchasers, you just look at this place order metric. Very simple, equals 1 over all time. You can do 2-time, 3-time, 4-time VIPs, etc. With VIPs, there's a lot of different ways that you can define VIPs. Most commonly, it's just going to be a certain number of purchases plus, and or a certain amount of dollars spent with you. So typically we do 3 to 5 times your AOV. So if your AOV is $100, if they have spent $500 with you. At that point, they'd become a VIP. It could also be people who join the SMS list. That could be part of your VIP criteria, and same with referrals made. All of these are great ways to define VIPs. In terms of email ideas, you want to treat different segments differently, of course. So first-time purchasers and zero-time purchasers, they're not as used to your brand. So like, for example, if they haven't bought before, they don't have the product in their hands. So you want to treat them differently. Use social proof about, hey, I was skeptical about this product, but here's why I bought. Reviews like that are great. Information about shipping and delivery time, because you got to think they've never been shipped the product before. Same thing with product, ingredient quality. They might be a little bit skeptical. So you want to solve those particular objections that are particular to zero-time purchasers. And you can be a little bit more aggressive because it's either they make a purchase or they don't. So that's why you can be lenient in your offers. First-time purchasers, this is a great opportunity to cross-sell, especially if they've bought a product before. You really want to get them across that hump and get them in that mode of, essentially you being their number one provider of your product. So if they've bought a certain product, send them another cross-sell email about, if they bought X product, send them an email about Y product. And you can also ask them to respond, like, what did you like or what didn't you like? And then almost VIPs. So if, for example, if they've only bought 4 times and a VIP is considered someone who's buying 5 times, tell them about the VIP list, extra perks and things like that. And send them a message saying, hey, here's where you're at and here's what you need to be to become a VIP. And then VIPs, of course, they're going to be VIPs, so treat them like that. A lot of times they get early access to sales, exclusive discounts, things like that. All right, next up is engagement segments. Absolutely crucial. This is the most common segment that we send email campaigns to. So it's going to be X number of days engaged. So 30, 60, 90, 120, 180 are the most common. Especially if you're sending to less than 100,000 people at a time, you don't need to go super hyper targeted in your segmenting. Most of the time, it's a lot better just to send to one particular engagement segment for a majority of your email campaigns. Most of our clients were just sending to the 120 or 180 day engaged for a majority of our emails. We could have some one-offs here and there, but again, this is going to be, your standard, your gold standard of people who you're going to send to. You got to think more engaged people get more emails and less engaged people get less emails. You can actually create what are called engagement tracks. Here's an example of how that would work. But as you can see, track A is going to be the most highly engaged people. Track B is like medium engaged people. Track C is going to be lower engaged people. So the people that are lower engaged, they're only going to get your absolute biggest, your Black Friday, your biggest July 4th, those types of, massive sales for your brand. And then the medium engaged people, they get all the other sales like Valentine's Day and Father's Day and not these massive sales. And then your highly engaged people, those are going to get a majority of your volume. Those are the people that are absolutely the biggest fans of your brand, and they can get the most emails because they're loving them and reading them and enjoying every single word that you send out. So that's why you want to send them more. So you can kind of see more engaged people get more emails. Typically what we like to do, at least starting off, is sending 2 emails a week to a higher engaged or a bigger swath of people. So maybe 2 emails per week to the 180 day engaged. And then if you're going to send 4 emails per week, only send that to a smaller group of people like the 60 day engaged. So yeah, your less important emails can go to your most loyal people, and only the biggest sales, you don't want to spam people that are just in broad audiences that are not necessarily your ideal VIP type customers. Also, finding the sweet spot. This is something you can really do with engagement segments. 30-day engaged is going to have the highest open rates and click rates. 60-day engaged is going to be a little bit less. 90-day, 120. As you increase, X in terms of X number of days engaged, it's going to, you're going to get lower engaged. You're going to get lower open rates. So the 120-day engaged is going to have more people in it than the 30-day engaged. So you can essentially adjust this number here, and you can get the sweet spot. So you're hitting roughly 30 or 40% open rates. You can just adjust your engagement, who you're sending it to get that kind of Goldilocks sweet spot. So you just adjust this, and that should essentially send more or less people and get you the right open rate. And how to create the segments. Here's what we do. So 30-day engaged, all you're doing with changing, the X here, when you're changing this from 30 to 60 or 90, all you're doing is changing this number here. So how we define it is active on site at least once in the last 30 days, or viewed product, or added to cart, or checkout started in the last 30 days. That's how we personally like to define it. You don't have to include active on site because technically they're not looking at emails, but we like to include it just to make the segments a little bit wider. And then 60-day engaged is exactly the same as what we had above. Literally, as I said, the only difference is 60 versus 30 versus 120. You just change this variable here. And then you do the same thing for 90, 120, 180-day engaged. All right. Next up is people who clicked but did not buy. Absolutely should be looking at this segment. So especially when you're running multi-day promos, you want to retarget people who are kind of checking out the products but didn't actually make a purchase. So this is how you can do it. You look at people who have clicked a particular email. So this is going to be your previous email campaign. Clicked email at least once over all time, where campaign name equals whatever your previous campaign name is. It could be one email, it could be multiple emails. And then you want to do placed orders 0 times in the last, if it's 5 days into the sale, place orders 0 times in the last 5 days. That way, you're looking at people who didn't buy but are still interested. You can also test out people, sending to people who opened but didn't buy, same type of concept. And you got to think, if it's not price, you're already giving them a discount with this sale, what other objections might they have? So it could be objections in terms of like something that social proof could solve, something that they're wondering, how is the shipping and return info? It could be just more product education is needed. You got to think, and you could split test and test a bunch of different strategies and really understand what your customers are missing that are causing them to click but not actually make that purchase. Cool. Now we got resends to non-openers. This is a pretty interesting one. So make sure that everyone gets their eyes on your biggest offers of the year, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So for example, if your Black Friday, Cyber Monday email goes out at 9 a.m., you can actually resend anyone who didn't open that first email at 5 p.m. or maybe sometime the next day. Because some people just don't like to open emails in the morning. They prefer to do it in the afternoon. So this is how you'd set it up. Basically, what someone has or has not done, received email at least once over all time where the campaign name is your previous email. And what someone has or hasn't done is opened email 0 times over all time where the campaign name is your previous email. So you want to use this tactic sparingly. We only use this really during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and maybe once or twice throughout the other parts of the year, just because it's not great for deliverability. You're just sending to segments of people who didn't open previously to slightly boost your opens. So make sure you're inboxing well and you have great deliverability before using this strategy. However, if you're going to have a massive month where Black Friday is absolutely critical to your strategy, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it to send to as many people as possible. I wouldn't overuse it. I would just use this once or twice during the sale just to make sure they're actually getting eyeballs on it and you're getting the most views on your emails. Awesome. All right, bonus ideas. Got a couple very interesting ones. Lightning round here. First up is going to be people who clicked or viewed a certain product category in your email. So you can create a segment of people who are particularly interested in, for example, here, your dress pants. Send dress pants specific emails to people who click to this and were active on that category on your sites. You can also look at subscriptions, either customers or non-customers. So subscription customers, you can thank them for subscribing and also educate them on how to get the most out of their subscription. Non-subscription customers, you want to push them into being a subscription to get that MRR. So you want to highlight the benefits of why they should particularly subscribe. And you can do this for a lot of different things outside of subscriptions. It could be SMS. So SMS subscribers, obviously you can send them a text, but you could also send them an email. And people who are not subscribed to SMS, you can particularly send them campaigns telling them the benefits of why they should subscribe. So any sort of attribute you can, send to people who do qualify for that or don't. Unengaged, we don't send this a lot, but this is going to be generally people who are not active on site, not opening emails, not clicking emails, not placing orders, and they've actually received, 5 or more emails. These people are not completely gone. Typically, if they've received more than 10 emails at that point and no engagement in like 180 days, at that point, we typically suppress them. But these are people that are potential win-backs. They're not completely lost. It's within 90 days. You can send things like win-back campaigns. You want to really, send them your last-ditch kind of Hail Mary offer. This works really well with your win-back flow as well. So just make sure that they're not being double sent there, but you want to give them a good offer because essentially these are people that are either going to, forget about your brand and never purchase again, or you're going to hook them back in with a great offer. So that's why, a lot of times they're not going to take that Hail Mary offer. So you can offer, give a pretty good discount there. But you want to break the pattern. You want to show up in the inboxes. They're not opening the emails. So it's like, why would they open this one? Make it something interesting. Get the subject line, set up a few split tests, make it just stand out in the inbox and break the pattern there. You can also look at gender, specifically, especially for like very gender specific brands like apparel brands. You want to make sure you're looking at like what gender are they actually shopping for in case it's a guy shopping for a girl. So you can include this question on your pop-up to get zero-party data, or there's a lot of different ways that you can collect this gender information. You can also look at, Klaviyo has a feature called predicted gender, where you just go into predictive analytics about someone, where predicted gender is likely male or likely female. And you can look at that and send emails to that specific targeted segment. Last but not least here, cross-sell emails. People who bought product A but haven't bought product B, definitely worth sending cross-sell emails in a campaign showing why they'd benefit from picking up product B since they already have product A. Awesome. So that was the video. If you're running a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand doing 6 or 7 figures per month and you want to add 50 to 200K to your monthly revenue in the next 90 days, or we give you a refund, feel free to check out our website and book a call there. That's zhs-ecom.com. Or you can go ahead and send an email to myself. I'll personally read and respond at zach@zhs-ecom.com for more info. Hope you got a lot of value out of this video and appreciate your time.